The last topic in the unit 1 of circuit theory is nodal analysis or nodal current analysis. So in this we are going to use Ohm's law and Kirchhoff's current law. So through this analysis we can find node voltages. Say the mesh current analysis, we were able to find the mesh currents or loop currents. Here we'll use this nodal analysis to find the nodal voltages. We will understand this nodal analysis through an example, simple example. We will try to understand the nodal analysis. So this is a circuit which we are going to analyze. So here we have two current sources, right? Two current sources with the two resistors, three resistors, two current sources, and you have three resistors. See, this node or this point, the voltage is V1, this point voltage is V2. Through nodal analysis, we have to find out what is this V1 and V2, right? As I already told, we are going to apply Kirchhoff's voltage law and Ohm's law for the analysis. And to facilitate the analysis, we will redraw the above circuit. We will redraw the above circuit. Same circuit, just we have redrawn for our convenience. So here, this is your node 1. This is your node 1. I encircled it as node 1. This is node 2. So at node 1, the voltage is V1. At node 2, the voltage is V2, right? And this bottom node, you can just mark it as 0, which is nothing but reference node. So that's why I have shown it connected to ground. So we have three nodes, V1, V2 and the ground node, or node 1, node 2 and node 0, right? So between node 1 and 0 we have current source 1 ampere. So the current flowing through this, we denote it as I1, it is flowing in the upward direction. Now this current at node 1 divides into two parts. Through 2 ohm, I2 is flowing. Through 6 ohm, current I3 is flowing. So when it reaches node 2, I4 is flowing through this 7 ohm and the remaining I5 flows through this, which is nothing but 4 ampere. I5 flows through this, right? So we have redrawn the given circuit. Next, what we are going to do is, before I write the equation, we will apply the Kirchhoff's current law at the two nodes. First node, you have to apply the Kirchhoff's current law. Second node, you have to apply the Kirchhoff's current law. Just remember Kirchhoff's current law, the simplest form. At any node or junction, the sum of the incoming currents equal to sum of the outgoing currents, right? So if you take this node 1, I1 is the incoming current, I2 and I3 are the outgoing currents. So therefore, when you apply KCL at node 1, how you will write I1 equal to, that is sum of the incoming current equal to sum of the outgoing currents. Here the outgoing currents are I3 and I4, I3 and I2. So you write I1 equal to I2 plus I3 at node 1. Likewise, you have to apply Kirchhoff's current law at node 2. Here I3 is the incoming current, I4 and I5 are the outgoing currents. So the circuit equation is going to be sum of the incoming currents, only one incoming current is there, I3 equal to sum of outgoing currents. We have two currents, I4 and I5. So at node 2 you will be writing I3 equal to I4 plus I5. Next point, this is node 1, this is node 2, right? The current I3 flows from node 1 to node 2. So that means current will always flow from higher potential to lower potential. In other words, the voltage at node 1, V1, is at a higher potential than voltage at node 2, which is V2. So you can apply it. Suppose if you want to find current through this, which is nothing but voltage across this 6 ohm divided by this 6 ohm. So that means the potential difference V1 minus V2 potential difference divided by the resistance. Here it is 6 ohm. The current moves from V1, that is from higher potential node 1 to node 2. So now next we will go to the mathematical part. Okay, mathematical equations. So now at node 1 we write by KCL, Kirchhoff's current law, I1 equal to I2 plus I3. I1 equal to, what is I2? I2 is nothing but V1 minus 0 divided by 2. V1 minus 0 divided by 2. Because I will again show it to you so that you can understand. So this is V1 higher potential, this is lower potential. So this potential difference V1 minus V2 divided by this resistance. So current flows from higher potential to lower potential. Okay. So V1 minus 0 divided by 2, and I3 is, I already explained, V1 minus V2 divided by 6. This is according to Ohm's law. So I1 is 1 ampere already given, 1 equal to V1 by 2 plus V1 minus V2 divided by 6. 1 equal to V1 by 2, I separate this, plus V1 divided by 6 minus V2 divided by 6. 1 equal to, I multiply and divide by 3, the first term. 3V1 divided by 3 into 2 plus V1 divided by 6 minus V2 by 6. So 1 equal to 3V1 divided by 6 plus V1 by 6 minus V2 by 6. The next step is going to be, we'll move in a step-by-step manner. So this is going to be your next step. So 1 equal to, I will combine the first two terms, 3V1 plus V1 divided by 6, and then minus V2 by 6. So 1 equal to 4V1 divided by 6 minus V2 by 6. 1 equal to 4V1 minus V2 divided by 6, common denominator. Now you can take this side. So you can write this equation, that is 4V1 minus V2 equal to 6. This we call equation number 1. Next we apply Kirchhoff's current law at node 2. I3 equal to I4 plus I5. So I3 is your incoming current, sum of incoming currents. I4 and I5 are outgoing currents. So Kirchhoff's current law says that sum of incoming currents equal to sum of outgoing currents at a junction or node point. Okay. So I3 is nothing but, we have already seen this, V1 minus V2 divided by 6, right? I4 is nothing but V2, it is higher potential, minus 0 lower potential divided by 7. 7 is the resistance. And then I5 is 4. We have already given in the problem. So you separate this, V1 divided by 6 minus V2 divided by 6 equal to V2 divided by 7 plus 4. So we further go for simplification. V1 divided by 6 minus V2 divided by 6 minus V2 divided by 7 equal to 4. V1 divided by 6 minus 7, you multiply and divide by 7. So 7 V2 divided by 7 into 6. Minus, here also multiply and divide by 6. 6 V2 divided by 6 into 7 equal to 4. V1 divided by 6 minus 7 V2 divided by 42 minus 6 V2 divided by 42 equal to 4. V1 by 6. So minus is common in these two terms. You can take outside. So minus within the bracket 7 V2 plus 6 V2 divided by 42 equal to 4. V1 by 6 minus 13 V2 divided by 42 equal to 4. Here we multiply and divide by 7. 7 V1 by 7 into 6 minus 13 V2 divided by 42 equal to 4. So we will continue the simplification. So you will be getting like this. 7V1 divided by 42 minus 13V2 divided by 42 equal to 4. So common denominator, I can write 7V1 minus 13V2 divided by 42 equal to 4. Take this 42 this side. So you can write 7V1 minus 13V2 equal to 4 into 42. 7V1 minus 13V2 equal to 168. You call this as equation number 2. So now you write these two equations. So we have 4V1 minus V2 equal to 6, 7V1 minus 13V2 equal to 168. So we have two linear simultaneous equations, and you can solve by using scientific calculator. Already in the previous video I have demonstrated how to use the calculator to solve this equation. And also, suppose examination, you may have to use a scientific calculator to solve the equations. Suppose if you have access to computer and especially MATLAB software, you can use MATLAB also to get the solution for these equations, simultaneous equations. I will show both the methods. First one is calculator solution. So in the calculator, this equation will be written like this. It will be in this form: a1x minus b1y equal to c1, a2x minus b2y equal to c2. This will be in the calculator form. So here x is nothing but v1, y equal to v2. That means calculator will show x which is nothing but V1, when it shows Y, which is nothing but V2. Okay. So correspondingly, A1 equal to this A1 equal to 4, B1 is nothing but minus 1, A2 is 7, B2 is nothing but minus 13, A2 is 7, B2 is minus 13. This C1 is 6, C2 is 168, actually 168. Okay. Now I will demonstrate how to use, I'll use white sheet, how to use this calculator to get the solution, right? I think it may be visible to some extent. So switch on the calculator. You press the mode 3 times, the mode key 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you have pressed after that you press 1. It will go into equation mode. It will ask number of unknowns, whether 2 or 3. So in this problem only 2, so press 2. Now it will ask the coefficient A1. So A1 is 4, press equal sign. Next it will ask what is B1. It is minus 1, press equal sign. Next it will ask what is C1. C1 is 6, press equal sign. Next A2 will be asked. So it is nothing but 7, press equal sign. And then it will ask what is B2. B2 is minus 13, press equal sign. And finally it will ask what is C2. C2 for us is 168, and then press equal sign. Okay. So it is showing x is equal to minus 2. Again press the equal sign. Y it is showing as minus 14. Okay. So we can write our solution like this, right? So we can write our solution like this. So x is nothing but V1 minus 2 volt. Y equal to V2 minus 14 volt. Okay, so this is the way you can get the solution through calculator, scientific calculator, probably in your examination. Suppose if you are interested in a computer solution, and nowadays most of the universities and most of the colleges, they are using MATLAB for scientific computation. Okay, commonly it is used. So that's why I have introduced the MATLAB solution. So to get MATLAB solution, you have to write those two equations in matrix form. So we have the A matrix, 4 minus 1, 7 minus 13. So this is the V matrix, V1, V2, which are the unknowns, equal to I matrix 6, 168. So at the MATLAB command window, first we define the matrix A. A equal to, open the square bracket, 4 minus 1, semicolon, 7 minus 13, close the bracket, semicolon, press the enter key. Next, B equal to B or I, anything you can define. So I have used B, right? So B equal to, open the square bracket, 6 semicolon 168, close the square bracket, semicolon. So B is going to be a column matrix or column vector. Okay. Now to solve this, we are using a right division operator. We are using the right division operator. So if you use this, you will get a very fast solution. Or you can also use inverse. Okay, other method is V equal to INV, open the bracket, capital A, close the bracket, star B. That is V equal to inverse of A multiplied by B. That is one method. But if you want to get very fast solution, quick solution, we can use the right division operator. Okay. So V equal to, left division operator. Right division is normally we use for normal division. So this is a left division. Okay. So this is called a left division operator. So V equal to A, left division operator, B, press the enter key. So you'll get solution like this. V equal to minus 2, minus 14. So the first thing is V1. Second one is V2. So your solution is going to be V1 equal to minus 2 volt, V2 equal to minus 14 volt. The same we got through our calculator solution. Okay. So with this, we are wrapping up Unit 1 in circuit theory. Next, we will move on to Unit 2, which is network reduction and circuit theorems. Before that, I will provide the hint sheet for Unit 1, which will be handy for quick reference. It will be discussed in detail in the next video. So I really thank you for your patronage of this channel. Thank you.